Be seated, please. Thank you. New question. The member from Lambton-Kent-Middlesex.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Finance. On April 26 here in this legislature, I tabled my private member's bill, Bill 76, to give Ontarians their say about casino development in their communities. Word on the street is, Minister, you're trying to bully your caucus into allowing casino development to happen all over the province without any local input, all in a cynical attempt to fund your spiralling deficits. Your party's chief whip, a fellow cabinet minister and deputy House leader, and 5 other prominent Liberal caucus members voted with the PCs and NDP to give local decision-making to the people. Minister, will you stand in your place today and look your 7 courageous Liberal colleagues in the eye and tell them that you support them by allowing referendums for future casino development?
Minister.
Mr. Speaker, when it comes to private members' business, our members are allowed to vote the way they see fit, Mr. Speaker. Unlike the Tories on the bullying bill, in the morning, one member says one thing, the leader brings her down, and they change the policy overnight and reestablishes the policy. Mr. Speaker, the provision for referendum. The provision for referendum exists in the Municipal Act, Mr. Speaker, has for many years. We've said any willing host has the opportunity to determine how they will gauge winning conditions, or will gauge what it means, willingness, Mr. Speaker. We welcome the provisions of the Municipal Act. I'm glad our caucus and members vote freely on private members' bills. We respect them. We have strong debate within this caucus, unlike that party, which won't stand up for kids that are being bullied in our schools all over Ontario.
Well, Minister, it sounds like a divided caucus and cabinet on that side of the House. The Liberal members from Etobicoke Centre, Mississauga East Cooksville, Don Valley East, York Centre, your Chief Government Caucus Whip, the member from Peterborough, and the Cabinet Minister from St. Catharines and Deputy House Leader all supported the PC bill to give local decision-making on casino development to the people of Ontario. Minister, your colleagues think it's right to give residents a say on local casinos. Why do you think it's wrong?
Sir, Finance.
Speaker, the Municipal Act permits municipalities to conduct referendums. It's been there for many years, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I think the member opposite, instead of criticizing and trying to find fault here, maybe he ought to tell his constituents why he's voting against the Southwest Ontario Economic Development Fund, Mr. Speaker. At a time when your riding and your communities have been hard hit by decisions made by outside interests, Mr. Speaker, that member chose, Mr. Speaker, to vote against the most progressive policies on economic development for Southwest Ontario. I guess we ought not to be surprised, Mr. Speaker, because when it came, for instance, to horse racing, he says keep the subsidy. He says that here. But in his riding, he puts out press releases that saying that one of his biggest mistakes is to shovel out business subsidies. Back home in Lambton-Kent-Middlesex, local business owners do perfectly well without handouts from Queen's Park. Flip, flop.
New question.